In this episode of the Tipping Point Podcast, we welcome Quinn Kennedy of Red Ball Oxygen.
So, Quinn, today we're going to talk about your story. Have you been working at Red Ball your whole life?
I have. So I started working here whenever I was 15, but I worked construction for about 2 months before that because my dad didn't want to get me a job at Red Ball because he wasn't sure if I was going to work out or not. So I went and worked construction for 2 months, and he was like, okay, you can come and join the team now.
Oh my God, at 15.
I had to wait 2 months, and then I came on. So I came on when I was like 15 and worked summers and worked in the fill plant, painting, scraping cylinders and stuff like that.
And it gets hot as heck there, right?
It does. It gets really hot.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could deal with that.
In the summers, it's over 100 degrees every day and miserable.
Yeah. Okay, question for you. I've been doing a lot of interviews around succession planning for an upcoming GATA discussion, but looking back, is there anything you would change about what your path was? Would you change anything about it?
To be honest, I probably really wouldn't. I had a pretty structured path. I started in the fill plant, then I went and worked on our cryo team for a while, and then moved into inside sales, then did a little operation help with a guy named Nick Brown, who's now our VP of operations. Him and I worked side by side for a while when he first moved to Shreveport, and then after that I moved to Baton Rouge. So it's been a real pretty structured path. It didn't happen all that easily, but no, I could say no, I wouldn't change any way that I came up through it.
And then for listeners, what is your title now?
Business development manager.
You and I have the same title pretty much. So
yeah, sales.
Yeah, exactly. Sales and just vague so that you do a little bit of everything.
A fancy sales title.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what's been your biggest lesson so far in this career?
What do you mean by that? Like lessons learned?
Yeah, like I look back and I think mine would be like have a voice and be authentic. Or it could be lessons learned. Like, is there something you would tell younger you?
I'm still too young. I would say that one of the lessons that I learned the most, though, is that, like answering the phone. Whenever your customers call, answer, take care of them, do it as quick as you can. And I was taught that really young throughout the business. So it's lingered with me. Just that anytime my phone rings, I grab it and look and think it might be a customer. And I'm like, answer it, get a sales call, get a sale out of it and make somebody happy and take care of them. It's been really easy.
I think that's a great lesson, especially for our generation. What would you say to someone that might be hesitant to pick up the phone because they're afraid like there might be a customer conflict on the other end?
The best way to do it is pick up and act as happy as you can and be really polite to them and everything and do exactly what they want, even if they're mad at you, because if they're mad at you or upset or something like that, you just try to win them over and do whatever's right. And then if you do that and you're honest with them and take care of them, then they'll come right back to you unless you really made them mad.
Yeah, no, but I agree. If you give that human element and people know that you're trying, they normally become pretty understanding. Would that also be your advice to young professionals, or do you have other advice to young professionals?
It really would, because I think a lot of times, and I preach on this a lot and tell everybody, I think a lot of times people, you know what the way the world is now, you look down at your phone, you get 10 spam calls a day and no one wants to answer. But one of those 10 might actually be somebody that actually needs you. And early on in my career, going into sales, I scratch started a branch for us. And that was the way that we earned business, because we went into a market that had a strong independent in it. And we had to win over business. And our winning over business was answering the phone whenever they call, whether it's at midnight, 2 in the morning, if they're on a job and they need something, and they get out of bed and answer the phone and take care of them that time of night. Then you end up getting customers for life. And that's how I grew the business down there, was by answering the phone. So I'm a big preacher on if you call me, I'm 99% of the time I'm going to answer. Unless I'm on the phone, then I'll call you right back. So
yeah, that is so true. You also love to FaceTime, which is great.
I do love the FaceTime.
But yeah, no, I love that because it's kind of old school. It's like an old school way to go into this market where you already have a strong competitor in there and you win the business over just by giving the old school staples of good service, like the best type of service, right? And like you could go in with all the most technical things or new apps for them, whatever the case may be. But if the service isn't there, no one wants to use that technology that you're offering.
And the industry we're in is old school anyways. With the welding industry, it's just an older school industry. And I just feel like it works a lot. It's an easy way to take care of your customers. And whenever I was down there, we had a lot of customers that would be like, they didn't even want to see you. They just want you to answer, take their order, and take care of them. And then after that, they're happy. It's really the best advice I can give on it, is that by answering the phone, you can pick up a lot of business and take care of your customers.
Yeah, I agree. And so Red Ball is one of the largest independent gas and welding supply companies in our industry. So what have you seen people do at Red Ball, or what advice would you have to someone that wants to climb the ranks? How does someone get put up for that next promotion?
I feel like just working hard, keeping your head down, showing up for work on time, getting here, working hard, excelling at what you do, really just taking care of the customers. Every bit of that is, everybody sees it. If you're here on time and every morning and you're working hard and customers love you and everything like that, the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, I agree. My dad used to always tell me too, with like sports or whatever, to just ask. It never hurts to ask. It's all how you present it. But if you're putting in the work and you have the stuff to back you up, asking is what's going to probably put it in that person's mind that you're the best candidate or you're a potential candidate.
Right. And you can really see the ones that really try hard and that care about it, and they're biting into the culture and just the full circle. And you can see which people have it pretty easy and then which ones that aren't biting in yet.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Completely agree. Okay. And what is your favorite thing about your job?
Being around the people I work with. I absolutely love it. I enjoy coming to work every single day. And we have a great team here, great leaders, and they help me a lot. And we mess with each other all the time. But at the end of the day, we take care of our customers together, and everybody has the same drive. And it never gets old. Every single day is fun. And it's been like that since I've been here. I'm going on 10 years now. So it's been like that since day one.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. We have days that everybody's mad at each other or something like that. But for the most part, that's definitely what does it for me.
Yeah, no, I've been out with the Red Ball crew, and you all are some of the funniest people I've ever been around.
We love to have fun, and we carry that same attitude outside of work that we do at work. So if you keep that, and we're all a big family here, so it makes it a lot of fun.
It also seems like you all have each other's back. Like you're all like putting in the work, but you have each other's back.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're definitely there for each other.
Right.
All day, every day.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, and when people ask you what you do for work, like what the gas and welding industry is, what do you normally say? Because it's so hard.
I sell CO2 to gas stations. I'm kidding.
What? Oh.
No, I tell them it's hard to explain because people are like, Red Ball oxygen, you sell oxygen to hospitals, but the only oxygen we sell to hospitals is really just like bulk, and it's not big, but our industry is so defined on what we do. I tell people that we sell emissions monitoring gases to power plants to keep them going, to monitor the emissions going out. If they didn't have those and we didn't make them, then they wouldn't be able to run. So, I use that as an example a lot because, we have a pretty large spec gas lab here and we do a lot of spec gas. That's a pretty good example. And then I tell them that the chemical plants that are being built and stuff, all the welding that has to be done there, they have to use argon for it. We supply a lot of argon to that kind of industry, and I tell people that's what we do too. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard. Like when people are like, "What do y'all do?" and all of our industries are so unique, and the outsider coming in, they're like, "I don't understand how to sell oxygen." I'm like, "No, we do a lot more than oxygen."
Yeah. And it's hard because how do you explain to someone that's not in our industry that all day long they're probably like seeing or using things that use gases, like they're using our products.
And then they don't even realize it either.
Do you have an obvious example of something that everyone uses like on a maybe like weekly, daily basis that use gas? I know. I guess there's CO2 for.
Yeah, I could say CO2. I could say helium for balloons.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah, but I figured that's a pretty common answer. Though.
No. I haven't had that answer yet. My older sister grew up saying that she wanted to be a gas woman because my mom sold specialty gas and helium.
Right.
So, yeah. So she called her the balloon lady, which was funny. But yeah, you guys are selling the gas to those people or those companies using that. Okay. What is the most outrageous story you have from your experience at Red Ball?
Okay. So I guess we're going on about 2 years ago now. We have what we call the snowpocalypse come through down here. Which down in the south, we don't ever get snow. But we were actually shut down for 5 days. Complete no business, no anything. But actually, we did have business. But we do a ton of hydrogen to all the different power plants and stuff. And that's our number one molecule that we sell is hydrogen. And whenever it happened, all the roads were shut down. It was literally like an apocalypse came through. It was like every man for himself. We had no water. We had no anything. Everything was shut down. but all the power plants were trying to get back open. So, first day, everybody's kind of idle. Second day, we started getting call after call after call from people needing hydrogen. And so we all were trying to figure it out. We're like, we can't put our trucks on the road. But then we were like, they need hydrogen, so we're going to have to figure out a way. So we all got in our trucks and drove down to Red Ball and got together, and we figured out the way to get our trucks out of Red Ball. We had state trooper escorts. We had the Texas governor actually signed off for the Texas National Guard to give us salt trucks and like loaders to clear the roadway. And so we had escorts from Red Ball and Shreveport to the Texas state line, and then Texas to the power plants. And
wow.
it was insane because they have to use hydrogen to cool the generators to be able to get them fired back up so the power plants can work. So essentially we were selling hydrogen to all the different power plants in Texas to be able to get the power back on so then people could have power in their house. It got down to like -2 degrees here, which is just insane, something we've never seen before. So it was definitely an experience. And this went on for 5 days. We were all meeting up at Red Ball, and it would take us, normally it would take 15 minutes to get here from the house to an hour and 15 minutes. So we were all meeting up here. There was a group of about 5 or 6 of us, and we'd get with the driver, and we had game plans and protocols and safety stuff. And I'll send you a video, maybe you can clip it onto this, but the state troopers leading us out of Red Ball here. And we delivered all over Texas and Louisiana.
That's amazing. Yeah, please send me that video. I would love to clip that onto here. But yeah, that just goes to show how important our industry is, and no one ever hears about it.
Yeah, nobody would ever know, and everybody was like, what are y'all doing? And I was getting buddies text me because, the local bar would be open. Hey, let's go to beer. We're all shut down. I'm like, man, I'm at work. They're like, how are you working? I would explain the same story to them of what hydrogen actually does, and it was crazy. We had trailers going around the clock. We had a driver get stuck on the road for 26 hours.
Oh my gosh.
He went out through like early in the morning and was coming back that evening, and all the ice, it would thaw out a little bit during the day. And then at night it froze back up. So he was stuck on the interstate and just left his truck running, but it was 0 degrees outside and he was stuck on the interstate, and they had like little fires on the side of the road.
Wow.
And then the next day he was finally able to get back. It was wild. It was a very wild experience. So.
Ooh. It's wild though, right? Because it's not just you serving that customer and making sure they're running, but you have hundreds of thousands of people without power. I remember friends I have that live in Austin and stuff. They had no power.
Yeah, one of our sales managers down in Houston, they lost power for 4 or 5 days, and they were all just sleeping in their living room to try to stay warm together because they couldn't leave, couldn't drive, couldn't get out of the house. They didn't have 4-wheel drive vehicles, so they didn't leave the house. So they were literally stuck there with no water, no electricity, no anything for 3 or 4 days in their house.
Wow. You can't boil water. You can't do anything. You're just paralyzed. Yeah. That's an amazing story, Quinn. Thank you for sharing that. I was not expecting that. It's like superhero Red Ball over there.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a fun time. That goes back to the point that you asked, about the people I work with, watching everybody come together for that. Nobody blinked an eye. It wasn't hey, I can't leave my house because the roads are bad. It was like, I'll be there in an hour.
Wow. Yeah. Well, and that's Red Ball's character. Like, each person that works there that I've met, and I've met a decent amount of the people that work at Red Ball, are just the best people. Like, they would take the shirt off their back for you.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I mean it. Okay. And then how do you stay motivated? From
the people around me. Like I said earlier, everybody comes in with a positive attitude, and I feel like that just helps motivate just to do well for yourself. It's just by the positive attitudes around you and the reflection that people give on you and that you can give on to them. And I enjoy being here and being around the people I work with, and I think they enjoy being around me. So that definitely helps me get out of bed every morning and get to work.
Yeah. How does Red Ball create this culture and keep this culture of just like really good people that love what they do?
We take care of our employees really well. Bonuses, stuff like that. We'll do different events and stuff to get everybody together to try to keep everybody happy. But other than that, Alex gets out and cooks every month and a half out back in Shreveport, and people come around and eat, and he'll cook for everybody and just stuff like that just to keep the culture up. And we are a small family business, so that's what makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's really neat how large Red Ball is in scale, but how you operate, as in the feel of it, feels very much like a family company, which is what it is. So it's really neat. Okay, and then do you like oversee a team?
I do not anymore, no.
Okay.
I work for Bob now, so.
Oh, nice.
I don't. I did. I had, whenever I was in South Louisiana, I oversaw a team, yes.
Okay, how do you keep a team motivated?
Working hard. when they see you working hard and stuff, then they want to strive to work hard too. Whenever I was down there, all the guys that worked for me and reported to me, we would get there all at the same time every morning, about 6:30, and we would all just grind all day long, and we'd run our reports at the end of the day, and we'd all be high-fiving in the office, and everybody was just happy. And after that, we'd all go get a beer together and hang out. So you create that culture within each other, and then everybody loves it.
I love that. Yeah, it's the old lead by example situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's great. Do you have a funny Red Ball story?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of funny stories. Let me think. Like something we've done.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a prank. Yeah. You guys pull pranks on each other, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, come on.
One of our VP of sales had just gotten his truck back from the shop, and he was like, "Man, it's running so good, blah 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 blah." And we were like, "All right." So we went out and tied a giant zip tie onto his drive shaft of his truck. We went to leave the parking lot, and it was just clanking, and we were all sitting in the store, and it was like 5:30, and he got out of his truck, would look, drive about 10 more feet, get out again, and we all just sat in the store and watched it for about 30 minutes. Then we finally told him. It was great. It was awesome.
That's so funny. Wait, I saw something with Nick. You guys like...
Oh yeah, during Christmas, all the girls in the back office made shirts with the Nick's face on it, it had like a hat or something on it, and then they all wore it to we had a little potluck Christmas party, and they all wore it. And whenever he walked in, everybody had him on their shirts. So yeah, that was pretty funny too.
And it was like an outrageous photo too. It was hilarious. He was just like looking so strange in it, which was great. But okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So Alex is your cousin.
He is.
His father and your father ran Red Ball together. What's that dynamic like now? How do you guys keep the peace within family business?
Him and I are really close. We're pretty much like best friends. Neither of us have brothers, so we're best friends. We're really close now. We spend a ton of time together, and we tolerate each other in different ways, so it works out very well. And we get along. We do a lot outside of work together, which I think that helps a lot. Not just being at work together, but creating that relationship outside of work and within the family, and being able to do stuff and hang out, watch football games, and travel and different stuff like that. We do that a lot together, which I think really keeps the culture together.
And what's been like the biggest thing you've learned from Bob Ewing?
Probably my cell phone deal that I was telling you about earlier, about answering the phone, which it's funny. It sounds so simple and everything, but the amount of customers that I've dealt with over time that will literally tell you like, man, you just answering the phone just means the world to me. It's not a text message. It's not an email. It's anything. It's just a simple task of answering the phone whenever I call. And Bob taught me that from day one, just to answer the phone. It's really been not just Bob, but everybody here.
Yeah. I know when you came out to visit Jake and I, and anytime your phone rang, you were on the phone. Like,
oh yeah.
We were,
yeah, I'm always on the phone. People are always like, who are you talking to? I'm like, everybody.
The world is calling me. Okay, so Quinn, you absolutely crushed this.
That's my first time to ever do something like this.
Oh, yeah, you're killing it. But maybe I'll get next time Steve Byers is in town, we can do a follow-up or something.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be fun.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. All right, awesome. Thanks.
All right, bye, Quinn.
Bye, see you.